Beep, 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 beep. Good day, coppers. Today we're down under. To all my Australian warrior teachers, and hello, those in New Zealand, hello. And to those of you elsewhere in the world, we've got news from Australia, so I thought it was about time we did some of the down under. So we're going to do it, okay? And what we've got from Sky News in Australia, this is a great story, is Monash University. It should be Monash now after this. Monash University under fire after MBA students forced to undergo disgusting oppression training. They've really shown their knickers in this one. Wait for it. Right, so students studying a master's degree in business administration, which costs $80,000, by the way, at the elite Monash, whatever it is, university, have been forced to evaluate their own privilege and undergo oppression training. This is the grievance gerbils are at it. Gender addled grievance gerbils. They're at it again. Gags. The highly competitive business course has come under fire by students over the inclusion of controversial elements of gender studies. Why don't we just close them down? Shut them down. Shut them down. Right? Shut them down. Hold a training course for those that have been teaching it and teach them how to say, do you want fries with that? Shut them down. Right, so, in-course materials seen by Sky News. See, people are giving, I get stuff sent. You know, people are starting to go, I'll photograph this and send it to someone. I sold this for a game of marbles. In-course materials seen by Sky News. That must be a bit off-putting for universities these days because they've got like little moles in their cloisters that are going to photograph anything that's slightly off. Are you a mole in the cloister? Send me the information. So, in-course materials seen by them, these Sky people, MBA students at the university's Caulfield campus were asked to consider your intersectionality, followed by a highly detailed graph emphasising human traits which were identified as a privilege or oppression. Here's how they work, see? Intersectionality is the controversial study of how different social, physical and political traits combine to dictate whether a person is advantaged or disadvantaged in society. It's insanity, I mean, it's lunacy. Right, but you can see it in the Dubris because I put it in, and they've got consider your intersection. You can see the chart. It's hysterical. They are literally insane. Students who were male, white, attractive, by whose standard? Right? I like men that look like rats and birds. Who are you going to tell me who's attractive? Right? Students who were male, white, attractive, upper or middle class, and highly literate, among other considerations, were considered to have domination. It's not domination, is it? See, in some of those things, like highly literate, I would say, that's competency in it. We have domination over those who were gender deviant. That's the word they use, gender deviant. Non-fertile, female, working class, disabled, or a person of colour. The intersectional snakes and ladders continues. And then they've got a picture of it that says, consider your power and oppression, and you can look round and you pick and it tells you where you are, and it's all very much, like some fascist neuro-linguistic, genetic, all rubbish. It's the very worst of eugenics on an emotional, psychological, social and physical level. It's eugenics. That's what it is. Except, it's the oppressed that they see as oppressed that are going to be the ones that are allowed to float to the top while they do away with the competent ones. It's going to be a good world, isn't it? They're insane. Monash has come under fire for obvious reasons. The postgraduate students were also shown a slide which read, for the privileged equality seems like oppression. For the privileged equality seems like oppression. No, it doesn't. What they're talking about is equity, really, see. As part of the intersectionality studies, they were forced to undertake a privilege walk. What? Students were told to take a step forward if they had more than 50 books in their house as a child. If they attended private school, if their parents received household assistance via a cleaner, a nanny, or a gardener. Social eugenics. They are wicked, wicked, wicked people. One student who asked not to be named to avoid repercussions from the university said the entire exercise was absolutely disgusting, and I agree with them. A privilege walk. It's just so dangerous. I mean, I sit here and pause just for a second. They're creating hierarchies of an elite. Hierarchies of an elite. You know who'd be at the bottom? Black, trans, disabled woman. Another student hit back at Monash, I don't know, and claimed the inclusion of the radical gender and race theory deliberately divides. Well, yes, that's what this critical social justice does. It deliberately divides. That's the only reason it exists. I would say instead of empowering students to focus on individual responsibility, they are saying that one's potential and success is limited by immutable characteristics, the student said. Somebody send this student a pint. Because this student gets it. They get it, right? How dangerous this mad left communist ideology, which is what it is really. I mean, it'll soon hit. It'll go round and join up with the fascists, and then we're all in trouble, aren't we? Dun 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 dun. It ignores everyone's individual circumstances and deliberately divides people in a way that aligns with their ideology. They take this as being something worth doing. They take this as being a truth. They separate you by, have you got 50 books? Right, take a step forward. It gets a bit more extreme when you get through 10 or 15 questions, you get to the other end. Have you ever eaten brie de meaux? Take a step forward. Do you understand what Chateauneuf de Pape is? Take a step forward. Do your mother and father have a 4x4? Take a step forward. Have you ever had to shit in a bush? Oh, take a step backwards. Do you know the Julia Child's recipe for beef bourguignon? Yep. Take a step forward. Bon appetit. They are literally insane. Right, okay. So this is costing them 80 grand, right? The university received 1.3 billion in Australian taxpayer funding in 2021 and almost 50 million in assistance from the Victorian government. My God. Under the controversial scheme, which is later revoked following reporting from Sky News. What a surprise. Well done, Sky News! And well done those students for speaking up about these totalitarian, authoritarian tossers that are infesting the university system with their mad ideas. If you don't, so we're revoked following reporting. Students who did not complete the module would have been encumbered and therefore unable to graduate or sit e-exams. Believe what we tell you to believe in our ideology, or we're going to fail you. That's what it is. If you don't complete compulsory modules by the deadline, you'll lose access to your units in Moodle. Moodle, I presume, is where they hide their modules. It's also childish. Units in Moodle until the modules are completed, so make sure you complete them on time. The information document now reads, that's what it now reads, right? So, okay, so they've stopped, they're still trying to do it. They aren't going to stop until we stop them, okay? No matter what they wrap it up as, social, emotional learning, cultural competency, they'll wrap it up as all sorts and still put the same shit in it. So you've got to be aware of that. But I thought this was interesting because, we like to hear from down under. And this is good news. Some students down under saying, well, hang on a minute, 80 grand and you're doing this? Excuse me. The universities think you're customers, students. If any students listen to this, there aren't. But if there are, right, okay. What you have to understand is this. They think that you're the customer, in which case if you kick up a stink, they'll be frightened they're going to lose your business. I know, and hopefully you know, you're the product. I'm the customer. Right? But the universities don't know that. So use it. Use your power as a student. If you've got something you want to send it to me. Find me on Twitter. Find somebody who knows me on Twitter. Photograph something that's ridiculous in your university and send it to me so I can make fun of it. Okay? Da-dum, 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 da-dum. You fool. There we go. News from Down Under. Fantastic to speak to you as always. Please do become a warrior teacher. Buy me a coffee, Substack, the usuals. Other than that, have a great day. Ta-ra, folks.